Hi guys, let's jump right into it. So this should look pretty familiar to you. This is your entire property with your existing home in the front, the long existing driveway in towards the back. The existing garage to be demolished is right about here. And then of course, as per the floor plan that we've been working on, we've got the two-car garage right here and the rest of the ADU, two-bedroom ADU facing towards the back. So let's zoom into the floor plan here just to again reorient ourselves. So the side facing entry, as we discussed, due to the car pulling in here at the garage, right, not being safe here. So this long view of the down the extra wide hallway, terminating probably in a nice little bit of cabinetry in here, right? I haven't mocked that up yet, but that'll come in a later design phase. But we're going to focus mostly on the exterior design right now. So we're not going to zoom in on the kitchen here, but this is just a little preview of the cabinetry to come, not indicating any sort of color scheme or color palette for you. So let's zoom back out to the exterior. And so the material palette that we're looking at here is going to be an asphalt composition shingle roofing, probably in a darker color to match your existing house. Siding, again, to kind of pick up the material palette of your existing house, but I think we might go with just a simpler bevel siding. But I like this sort of playful two-tone color scheme that I'm doing, the darker blue and the light blue, and then the white trim. I think it really pops. I think it's a very calming, peaceful color scheme, but beauty's in the eye of the beholder when it comes to color. So we can talk about your preferred color schemes. And like we talked about when we're looking at the floor plan, you're seeing the peak of the roof here is going to be centered in the great room, centered in the living room, dining room volume. So we get a lot of vaulted ceiling height here. So again, the view down at the perspective view, when we're coming into the parking court here, we've got the two garage doors and the three light fixtures. To play it up a bit, I'm proposing that maybe on this sort of top forehead, if you will, of the garage structure, we'll change the material from the bevel siding to more of a board and batten siding. And we could play around with different variations of what this might look like, but I like breaking it up a little bit. I don't think it adds much at all to the cost here, but it's just something nice to do to add a little bit more proportion and scale to the design. Now, this isn't final. I'll work with the GC exactly where all these sort of planks land. This is sort of auto-generated using some software I use. So ignore the fact that there's a little bit of a board gap up there. That gets cleaned up later. So yeah, we've got this really big corner window right here that it's just going to bring in a lot of view of the sky into the dining room and into the living room area. I'm really excited about this design. Certainly, it could scale back a little bit, but I think it just coupled with the height in this space and the connection to the kitchen, I think it's just going to be an amazing just light on both sides of this space. So a phenomenal quality of light and space. Here's a little a zoom in of the entry feature. This is probably a bit over-engineered to dress up what this part of the fence might look like for people coming in and out of the ADU. Certainly, we could scale it down to being just a piece of furniture bench and a plug-in water feature from Target. But if you want to do something as lavish as this, I'd be very happy to help you detail it out and price it out with general contractors. But here at the recess, I think it's really nice to see a change in the color again to pick up here at the vehicle entry, the same as the people entry. But I think it's nice to see a little different color at the inside. It's sort of like the recess is revealing that it's lighter and airier inside. I think that's kind of fun and playful. And we can see here the corner window at the kitchen that mimics the corner window at the dining room. And let's take a look. So what we're going to do now is we're going to basically cut a slice, a section through the great room right now and take a peek inside. Now again, we're not talking about interior finishes. This is a very, very rough mock-up. These are placeholder pieces of furniture I just happen to have on hand. But I want to talk about the sense of the interior space. So, you know, we get a sense that we have the kitchen volume here with the high bar top sits under this 9-foot ceiling height space that opens up into this vaulted ceiling space that has a maximum ceiling height of over 13 and a half feet. It's close to 14 feet. And the low parts of the vault take off from about 12 feet. So 12 feet up to 14 feet, more or less, give or take. That's an ample amount of height. And I think that really makes up for it being rather tight in plan, given the ADU limitations for a lot of your size. So I think this helps it not feel like such a small space. And I'm really kind of excited to explore this further with you and really fine tune the inside. So let's get back to this section view, reorient ourselves. And so let's get out of section view and just take finish the tour around the structure. So it's siding all the way throughout. I think you're going to save on cost by sticking with one material, this fiber cement siding material. There's quite a few people who make it. James Hardy is one that I'm comfortable specifying for you. It's a very popular name. All the same roofing. It's a very simple roof plan. I think any roofer will have a very easy time of this one, not complaining about the roof being too complicated. But of course, we can price out these elements like these roof gables that center over the kitchen entry and the master bedroom entry. It's not necessary. I certainly like them. I think it adds a lot of character to this relatively small backyard, but it's not necessary. And we can talk about it if any value engineering is necessary. Maybe these are $4,000 to $8,000 elements in terms of framing and additional roofing. And also this detached pergola structure. Certainly this is a luxury add. We don't need to have this, but I think it's nice just to provide some shade and some sense of privacy. It's not really cutting off views from the neighborhood apartment complex, so maybe we actually want to consider doing some sort of living green screen trellis vertically on this face. That idea is just occurring to me now, so we'll talk more about that one live. But still, it's a nice thing to have. Actually, I think we could take this screen and just continue it down. That could be pretty cool. We'll talk more about that later. So again, sliding glass door, so that it's not interfering with the flow of the kitchen in here. Casement window here to open up for fresh air where you don't want to open up the whole door. Here's the bathroom window. You know, I don't think it's necessary to frost this. I think you can just go with a aftermarket cling, a translucent film that you can take on or off as a tenant wants or doesn't want it. It's your call. We could certainly frost it at the factory, but I would just recommend going translucent just for that flexibility. And so here's the master bedroom sliding glass door again, so that it's just spatially very efficient. And then in the side yard here, we've got just 2 windows flanking the master bed wall. So these would be centered over nightstands with a relatively high sill height, so there'd be room for table lamps if you wanted. We've got the tankless water heater here, and then the last bedroom. And then doors into the garage. So this would be the tenant garage side, and then your access to your garage side, and then again your existing house there in the background now, but at the front of the property. So yeah, guys, I think this turned out really well. I'm really excited about it. Of course, let's schedule a time to talk about it live and go over your thoughts and feedback and see what changes we can make or tweaks that we can make that just really makes it feel like a go for you guys. All right, thank you. Bye-bye.